It's video.
Damn it. What was the countdown?
I know, I don't know why that counted down.
That's so strange. Okay.
We're talking about valuing photos and how to set price for something that we're not sure how other people value something. So the price is what we think other people will pay for a service. That's not ridiculous, so it's not too high, that'll drive people away, not too low that we devalue our work. And the question that we're grappling with is, how do we know what other people are going to pay and find value with their photos? And also, can we minimize the discomfort of the process of choosing a value for our services, for taking photos?
Are you charging?
Depends. Yeah, I still have a problem setting the price.
That just looks weird.
I think this is just an internal struggle for just like me, the photographer, and everything else is it's like irrelevant to everything else that happens in the process.
If a person liked a photo that you took a lot more than you expected, is that photo more valuable to you?
Depends on how I felt when I shot it, I guess. What was going on, or
So if you hated this photo and someone else really likes it for some reason, does that mean it should cost more?
I don't know. Yes. I know the answer is yes, but then when I put it on paper, when I put it onto a pricing sheet, then it's not. I can't figure out how to do that yet.
So if you really hate a photo and this other person also hates it, does that mean it should cost less?
No, but I don't know why.
The act of taking the photo has already taken place. You've already done this thing. Now, are we talking about the value of a photo printed out that you're selling to them, or the cost of your services that you're grappling with?
You mean what I'm already charging, or what I charge?
You're grappling with which price are you having trouble with feeling through or having trouble with thinking about?
I think it's just the that there's a price at all.
There's a price to take it or a price to sell a photo, or both?
Both.
Which one do you have more trouble thinking about?
It's the same.
I noticed that you set $50 an hour on your price list.
Mm-hmm.
Was that an easy figure to come to?
It kind of came from examining what I've done in the past, what I would have charged now versus what I charged then, and kind of just getting a feel for what the average is for me historically and for others, and what they charge. So, and what I think is fair. So it seemed like a good rounded number that fit somewhere in the middle, and that was not too expensive.
Okay. Now that you set that price, how do you feel about it?
I'm fine with that price, but it's a loaded price because it doesn't stand alone all the time. It's for me to actually make the bottom line and not struggle. I have to not only charge an hourly rate, but also consider everything that's going to happen and potentially and likely charge more for other parts of the service, like post-production, like booking, like prints.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know not everybody understands that, but that's not like, it's still standard, so that's what other people are doing, and I'm attempting to do what other people are doing now, is how I feel about it, because I'm looking at it like I need to make money, I'm now like doing what everybody else is doing because those are the standards.
Have you ever talked to someone who is absolutely incredibly comfortable with the pricing scheme that they had chosen for their business?
Yes. Well, I've read somebody. They make a ton.
Okay, that wasn't the question. Have you ever talked to someone who was completely comfortable with the pricing scheme, about their
Not a
pricing?
photographer.
Okay, anyone.
Yes, Josh.
Okay, what does Josh do?
Sets prices.
That's his entire job, setting prices. What is his service? What does he charge for?
I don't know what he charges exactly. I know that he's kind of given the business, landscaping business, like an overhaul, and he raised all their customers, and so they're making what they want to make now. They're making what they need to make now, and they're growing. And when he talks about it, he sounds confident, and he's like, "This is what we do, and this is what we charge, and it works." So I don't know if that's just because they've been in business for so long. Not really sure. It's a totally different business too. So
It is a totally different business, except that they have expenses, they provide a service, and that price is probably pretty consistent no matter who is asking them.
Mhm.
Or it's like they charge by the square foot, or they charge by the size of the lawn, or they have this base price that applies all the time.
Mhm.
And I'm betting that Josh doesn't worry too much about the costs of the price that they charge their customers because they know what the market rate is. There's a kind of established, this is kind of where you stay between if you want to be
Mhm.
in business on average. You can go lower and get customers, you can go higher and lose customers. But they're staying within that range.
Mhm.
And I think as long as you're within that range, it's not like a person talking to you is going to be able to go down the street and get someone for half as much. It's just,
But they can now.
they can now, they can do it themselves. But the goal, I think, when people want to hire someone else is they want their friends to share in this event and not have to work on it. That's why they hire people to make food, because who the hell wants to make food? Who wants to really take photos to like, shoot the hell out of a wedding?
Mhm.
No one really wants to do that.
Mhm.
With their friends. Their friends just want to go there and get drunk.
Right.
So there'll always be the crowd of people that don't care about photos, give everyone a disposable camera, and then they'll be completely fine with that. And it's low cost. But for the people who want something more, they're willing to pay for it, and you have to be willing to charge for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that means you will lose business.
Yes.
But eventually, if there is enough word of mouth, if there is enough demand for your services, at least you're not undervaluing the product. But when we're talking about the technical, you will take
Mm-hmm.
competent photos and you will give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the problem with money is we feel like we have to live up to whatever price we set. Like we say $500, we have to shoot $500 worth of photos, or provide that much value for whatever photos we give them.
I don't feel like I'm that worried about that part. I mean, that's certainly a factor, and that like comes in my head a lot. But I mean, I know what I'm charging for, and I'm confident in providing what I'm charging for. My concern is enjoying it.
Enjoying the process of taking photos.
Yeah. That's why, like, if I hate shooting weddings and I keep shooting weddings, I'm gonna make a lot of money and be miserable. That's one possibility. I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen, but historically, it didn't feel good. And I know that could be weakness in just business skills, planning, etc. But at the end of the day, if I'm gonna do what I love, then I gotta stick to that. And that's hard because then you open your door anybody can walk in.
Mm-hmm.
And to charge the same thing for everybody and to constantly focus on these kind of details, I haven't developed the kind of stamina for it yet, I guess. I don't know.
You mean the energy to interact with new people all the time and discern what it is they want and provide what they want? And it's going to be a little different for everyone? Is that what takes the energy?
Well, doing that, that's the working with the client part and putting your effort into that and focusing on that. But at the same time, focusing on the part that you love, just like the website service. Making websites isn't hard. Making invoices isn't hard. It's doing all that plus working with a client.
So the whole point of doing what you love and charging for it is to do something that you love and get paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an unenjoyable part, which seems to come up often. What is that? Can you define that unenjoyable part? Precisely.
Charging money.
Charging money. Deciding about money, thinking about money, valuing your services.
Because I'm agreeing that money is now, because I personally don't like money, and a lot of people do, so it's now I'm valuing money differently than my clients. And that certainly doesn't earn me money, if that's my goal. This is like, I'm full of conflict about all this.
Okay.
So, business, if we just forget about money for a second, business is about trading services.
Yeah.
Or products. So we either help each other out, there's reciprocation. And that's not the part that I'm really afraid of. I'm not afraid to ask for things anymore, but when it comes to keeping it what was enjoyable in the first place, then doing business with like dollars is it falls short.
So charging for something that you enjoy doing is draining, and it's because it changes your relationship with money and forces you to think about it, versus if you didn't charge for doing something you enjoyed. If you charged for doing something you hated, would money then have the same relationship? You're still providing a service for cash, but because you hate doing it, then you can set. Is it easier to set a value to something you hate doing versus something you love doing?
Sure, yeah. If money is the only goal, then it's really easy.
Is it because what you love doing is a creative endeavor? That
yeah. 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 Money's like the most uncreative thing ever. I think so. I know a lot of people like money. One way or another, this will work itself out. Either I'll make money or I won't. I don't know. I understand more and more every day why that guy just took a walk with his camera, and just walked. And I don't think it matters that it was the camera; it could have been whatever. But he didn't need anything to go do it. I don't do things like that because I'm holding on to not upsetting this household. I've done that before, and like for some reason that's grown as a fear. And also just like the certain lifestyle I've been living. There's a lot of nice components to it. As broke as I am, but it does get dull. Like fuss over this just to hold on to everything that I've got, and it's like I know that a lot of it's not really that important.
Has anything been figured out in the last 10 minutes?
No.
Okay. At least it's on film.
You know, it could prove to be useful later.
Yeah. The value of things change as time progresses. And the value of this video will go up the older we get. It'll be especially valuable if one of us dies.
Well, if I become a businessman tomorrow, I'll have this video for reference.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something I wasn't thinking clearly about. I'm always suspicious of that.
I think the problem with artistic endeavors and charging for them is it's not like enchiladas. Like if someone paid you to make 1,000 enchiladas for a wedding, you just calculate the cost of how long it takes to make an enchilada, how many people you need, how much they need to be paid, the cost of materials and time, and what much you want to make on top of all the costs. You decide how much you want to make based on the set criteria.
I think that's if you're not a person who's a connoisseur of enchiladas.
But if you know you can make enchiladas, if you know like you've made them 1,000 times and it's not a big deal to make them other than just the effort and labor.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's okay. I'm sensing a distinction surfacing between like what's been happening in my head. In my head, when we're talking about business, especially, I think about kind of photography in general. Like, oh, you want to hire me to take some pictures, or you want some portraits. Like, there are certain jobs that I can just do, and I can charge for it, and everything's fine. To a certain degree. Much more easily than, say, sitting people down for formals.
Yeah.
And achieving more than what I do for shooting stars.
Okay.
And because even though I can go out and do the events and do them competently, know that I'm just going to produce what I always produce, and that's been good, and then I can charge for that. I mean, it still doesn't mean I'm charging the correct amount of money, but I am earning money. I'm making some kind of bottom line, but I'll still struggle with good business practices.
You mean being fair to yourself? Are you struggling with being fair to yourself?
Or so, like the company that I shot the party for, I'm shooting for them again tomorrow night, and so this is kind of like just exactly what I know I can do confidently. I'm going to go to this event. There's going to be a bunch of people there, and I'm going to take candids. I'm going to get people and do my normal thing and produce confident photos.
How do you know that you can be competent at this?
Because I've done it so many times.
How many times?
A lot.
1,000? 500? 100 times?
Over the years, how many events that, I mean, this is basically what we do is where we are, we're taking pictures, and this is just another place I'm going to be with my camera. And I figured out how to do it that way. But even this job tomorrow night, they're going to pay me the hourly rate, and I have a deal with them, and I'm willing, I told them, and I guess I do feel good about this one, is even though I'm not charging them as much as I should based on my pricing sheet, they're going to be a regular client, it seems like, and that's probably worth more right now.
What if you could charge them as a regular client and get the cost that you charge everyone?
Say that again?
You're giving them a bit of a break because they're going to be a potentially regular client.
Yeah.
What if you didn't give them that break? What would happen?
I'd imagine they could easily find somebody for much cheaper
Okay.
and give them the regular work.
Would those people do as well as you for less money?
Maybe not. Probably not.
True. Will they be as happy, the company, be as happy with the work of someone who charges less and gives them less?
I don't know.
And having to perceive what they will value and place a price on that, I think is maddening because you don't know that. You can't know. And you're offering a discount based on the possibility that they'll use you in the future. And businesses do that
Mm-hmm.
for repeat business.
Mm-hmm. Especially right now, because it means I eat next month.
Yes. But when you give the discount immediately, are you undervaluing your work?
Yes.
Okay.
If value is in dollars and cents, then yes.
Okay. So that also means by undervaluing your work,
I think I'm overvaluing what I have and what I'm sustaining.
explain that.
Well, applying a dollar amount to a service or a product that I'm charging, I'm undervaluing my work, so I'm not charging what I can and probably should charge for my work. And if I'm undervaluing it and I'm having trouble making ends meet, because I mean, let's say I was 10 years from now, I'm a professional photographer and none of these issues exist for me. And I'm in business. The likely scenario is that I am valuing my work appropriately and I don't make exceptions. And that's the reason why I would be earning good money, but I feel like I'd be sacrificing something.
Sacrificing something to be successful?
Yeah, like what is that getting me? Is that getting me better photos, or is that just getting me better paychecks?
How is it going now at this current rate? How are the photos going?
I'm feeling good about my work. I've been kind of stagnant the last 2 weeks, though. I haven't shot much. I've been working on the details of the business. And then I feel like there's always a lot I want to do. Maybe a lot of waiting for the stars to align too.
Waiting for Jesus to bless you.
Yeah.
Somehow make the decisions that would benefit you easier to make. Sometimes they're easier depending on the day, I think, and your general, your mood and how anxious or how whatever you're feeling. I still ask people, well, what do you want with it?
Yeah.
And go with their first suggestion.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing up until a few weeks ago. Or last month. Well, I mean, right now at the moment, everything's fine, and I'm alive and I have food, and so far the universe has provided. So let's just see what happens, because I can ask for whatever I ask for, and I'll get whatever I get.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
Do you think you could show my sideburns? Or my just side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to do it after climbing, or do you want to do it now?
Do it now. And we'll leave, no matter how it is, we'll just leave at 2:40.
We won't get there till a while if we do it now.
Really?
Well, I mean, to get there by 3, we won't make it by 3 if we do it now.
Oh, okay.
Right? I mean,
We'll do it after.
if you feel it's important, we'll do it.
No. We'll do it after.
Okay. Do you time after?
At time after.
Okay.
This has been Photo Talk with your hosts, Chris Hedberg.